and I know maybe there is some Treliving tax, but the Leafs this year, because they won again last night, and Matthews is back, and he's got 8 goals in 9 games since returning. And it was one thing we were going to talk about. We got a guest coming up. We don't need to get into it, but we talked a lot about Marner last year. What's he going to do? He's got to want out. He's got to get a trade. Why would he stay there? And it's not just he's going to go back to Toronto the last year of his deal because he knows what he's getting there.
He's going to light it up.
He's going to get all the points that he's always gotten, and he's doing it again.
He is.
And you get lulled into it thinking, well, maybe it can work. Maybe it's going to be okay. But no,
we've seen this movie
in January. Things are usually probably pretty good for Mitch Marner and the Leafs. It's when April rolls around that things start to go sideways. But there's something about that. I mean, that Leafs team, the coaching is a little bit different. They feel a little bit different.
A little more gristle on the back end. Like you've added McCabe and some other, guys that have some OEL's not super physical, but he's a large human.
Yeah. And
Tanev changes a lot defensively.
That GM doesn't sit around. He will be happy to.
Yeah.
And because I don't know if
what do you mean by the tax?
It's just if the Flames are going to make a deal with Toronto, essentially Treliving, we're not going to help you unless it really helps us, kind of thing. Whether that exists or not.
What's the deal they're looking for? Like, are you trying to get rid of bad money, or they?
I think it's a team that would look around and say, well, Florida, maybe we can finally get past them. And is Tampa Bay, where are they at? And the Rangers have taken a step back in the East. Why not us? Might be kind of a mentality.
Yeah, I don't know where they fit with the Flames, but I think they will be shopping big time. Like, if the Flames were selling Rasmus Andersson,
that's what I was going to say. If you're gonna move Rasmus with the intent of getting the most,
what's the most with the Leafs? And I'm being serious because I don't know their stock.
I will look.
And Frank said it, and we all know it. The Leafs are finishing pretty high, right? Like so. Their first round pick is not the
the first wouldn't be that valuable. You'd want Easton Cowan, who I believe is their top prospect,
late first,
or 2 firsts, and then a roster player that they're probably you need to fill D minutes for the rest of this year.
You have to make Kadri go with
them. Then the money is tough.
Eat it.
Here's $10 million. What are the Flames getting back? We don't know.
Eat it.
But no, if you ask me, why do you think you're going to get a lot for Rasmus Andersson? I think it's easy to understand that he's making way less than he's worth. You're getting 2 playoff runs. What could you get for trading him? We could only speculate, but I would hope you could get 2 firsts, a very good prospect, and a roster player.
What are you looking at, Dean?
Well, just what are you going to want? What are you going to need? What are you going to want out of there? Fraser Mitten's the 6'2", 20-year-old center.
Minton and Cowan are the 2 best prospects, yeah.
Easton Cowan.
Yeah, one of those 2 guys, multiple firsts, and then send us a D-man that you're going to have in the press box anyway.
I don't know that it's multiple firsts.
One of those guys, if you're the Leafs, you're picking 25 to 32 the next 2 years, in my opinion. Those are not – that's basically a second rounder, right?
But I don't know is that the right price for – I just feel like we've gone –
yeah, we've been
with every one of these free agents that we've seen in the last year and a half. We've overvalued every single one of them.
Landholme, they got more than we thought they would. And I think the Toffoli deal in hindsight, you could argue was a huge win.
Tanev
was less. I think I don't like the Grishnikov prospect. I know you were higher on him than I am. I just think he's going to be.
I was not high at all. I know nothing about
he's not going to be an NHLer. He's a great character, but he's probably going to be the captain of your HL team. That doesn't really help the big roster. There's no ceiling for talent there, but the Hanifin one, it'll all depend where that pick falls.
2 years away from that still?
Next summer. Yeah.
He'll be a great player when I'm dead.
Yeah, there's that.
When I'm dead and gone. But I think that we like Rasmus. Rasmus has been a very good Flame. Does everybody in the league feel the same way, that like multiple firsts and our top prospect?
It would have to be.
This isn't Ray Bourque.
I think Treliving would like him, to your point.
Yeah,
because he knows him, and they're in burn the boats mode in Toronto. Like, what are you talking about? They care about a 25th overall pick in 2026. Get it out of here.
Yeah,
with other stuff, go. But again, you sold 2 months of Elias Lindholm. You got 5 pieces.
Volume doesn't matter. It's the quality of stuff, doesn't it? Like
no, for sure. So I'm not
sold on the return yet for Lindholm. I know that you might be right, but none of them are contributing. at the
Oh
moment.
yeah, Kuzmenko's got 2 goals, but you loved Kuzmenko a lot more when you saw him
Right, like you
score
liked
every game last year.
you liked the volume that you got.
Yeah, you got a first and Brustevich were the 2 most valuable pieces.
Who's the first?
The first would be, I believe, the Gridden selection. He's lighting up the queue.
Hopeful there.
Yeah, I mean he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's almost a point and a half a game in major junior as an 18-year-old. The problem is they won't be able to put him in the Wranglers next year with that CHL role.
Stupid CHL.
Go to college and then decommit, then come to the Wranglers. Let's go.
Can you do that?
I don't know. We don't. It's the Wild West, man. No one knows what you can do and not do until someone does it.
Dean, who's making up these rules?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Yeah, Leafs are second in the East after Washington, who's just winning. Again,
I would say
4
that the
straight.
Leafs are in a great spot because it's Tampa's not as sharp. Will be a tough out. Tough out, right? Boston, I don't think they've got it. Sens are talented, but beatable. The Canes are the Canes. None of it's going to be easy. But if you're the Leafs, how do you stack up? Like, we don't do it, and I don't want to because I don't like the Leafs. But like, you could sit here and go, okay, we're not going all in this year. The Marner thing becomes an issue. What are we next year, and how are we approaching it? If we're not going all in at some point, what's our time frame to win?
They're all in. They've been trading first every year.
Like you say, and I feel like when you're talking about the Leafs, burn the boats. Yeah.
What do you
like? 67 was a long friggin' time ago. And if you think you've got a better shot than you have in any of the last 5 or 10 years.
And don't forget, they just had a regime change, and Keith Petley came in and said, winning matters. That's it. And Brendan Shanahan's coming up on a decade here, right? Like that's 8 or 9 playoffs in a row they've flopped. Like if there is a team that is willing to sacrifice the future for the present, we talked about before.
And I don't even how much future are you sacrificing with the guys that you have?
Yeah, it's that you don't have great prospects coming in, but you've already got all these stars locked in, right? If they re-sign Marner, it's not like you're going to be missing skilled forwards in 5 years. They're all still going to be.
Yeah, and if things go to shit, you convince one guy to leave and trade him, you're going to get anything and everything you want.
The challenge that they have is that they're going to face the Panthers either in round 1 or 2.
I get it. Odds of it's just back to back year
at some point.
I agree.
Back to back years, they've gone to there will be a eye of the Tigers scenario, right? Where the team that hasn't won wants it more.
I agree. And I thought last year it looked like that, but they missed Nylander for 3 or 4 games and Matthews for 3 or 4 games. And then Wool got hot, but then he got hurt. Like it was a perfect storm of bad, and they still almost beat Boston. They should have. Like if they're just healthier, they beat them. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.